Hi everyone, welcome to this series on implementing unfamiliar stories in the ServiceNow platform. As a ServiceNow consultant, developer, or administrator, you're often asked to implement a requirement that is unfamiliar to you. You may not understand the feature, the current behavior, or how the application is currently configured. So where do you start? What do you do? In this video, I want to explain a methodology for implementing unfamiliar stories. This video is part of a series, and in subsequent installments, we're going to take a look at specific implementation stories from real projects and investigate how we can implement them. Some relatively straightforward, others more difficult. And this will help reinforce some basic concepts that you can then use to implement in any story. We'll look at business rules, flows, access controls, record producers, script includes, reference qualifiers, and more. As a member of the global ServiceNow trainer team, we're tasked with teaching you certain things about the Now platform. But all our courses are relatively short, and as a student, you only have immediate access to a trainer for 2 or 3 days. And after that, you have to figure things out alone. One of the most common types of questions I get asked in my classes is, can the platform or an application do this or that? If so, how? Is this supported? Can ServiceNow do this? Now, a lot of questions are expected and a normal part of the learning environment, but as a student, you also need to develop the capability and know how to research stories yourselves and how to investigate issues. In a YouTube short I published last year, I stated that the best kind of knowledge that you can have is platform knowledge. Knowledge of the ServiceNow platform will allow you to understand the behavior of most applications and give you the basis to develop new features as well as investigate and troubleshoot issues. By platform knowledge, I mean understanding the platform components and how applications in the platform work, the different components that make up an application and how they're related to one another. For example, understanding that a business rule is a server-side script that is triggered when a record is created, updated, read, or deleted. Knowing that system properties contain values that other components can reference, which can be changed and therefore changing the behavior of an application. Another example is recognizing that many scripts will include references to script includes. You also need product-specific knowledge, as we will see in some of the following videos. Such knowledge drastically cuts the time needed to implement requirements, as there is often out-of-the-box platform and application features that directly meet these requirements. And sometimes you may come across a feature or an issue that is not documented and you'll need to investigate. So before we start, let's review the basic methodology for implementing a new feature or changing an existing one, troubleshooting an issue, and investigating the cause of some other behavior. Number 1, platform knowledge. What tools in the platform could be used to implement this? Could it be a business rule, a flow, a script action? Maybe a combination of more than one of these components. If so, how do they relate to each other? 2, baseline behavior. What is the out-of-the-box functionality, or for existing apps, the current behavior of that app? How do you know if you have to create a new configuration file or modify an existing one? Many beginners have a tendency to just jump in at the start, creating ACLs or business rules without understanding what the current behavior is. And if you don't know, how can you find out? There's documentation, the community portal, the support portal, which is really good for troubleshooting, and many KB articles go deeper into many features. But if all else fails, you need to go into the platform and dig yourself. Again, you need platform knowledge. So to summarize, to implement unfamiliar project stories, you need knowledge of 1, the ServiceNow platform, and 2, the current behavior of the application. In the next videos, we'll go through some real-life implementation stories and issues and explain how I approach each one. This approach may or may not work for you. Maybe you've got another approach, another methodology that you use. If so, please leave them in your comments below. I'm going to be very interested to read your responses.